Welcome back, everyone. Ready for another deep dive?
Always.
Awesome. Today, we're taking a closer look at someone who's, well, kind of a big deal in the media world, Rachelle Peterson.
Yeah, her name seems to be popping up everywhere lately.
Right, and for good reason. I mean, she's the CEO of LOQIA Group now, but her career path is anything but a straight line.
It's like a roadmap with all these interesting twists and turns.
Exactly, and that's what makes it so fascinating. We've got her LinkedIn profile pulled up, which, let me tell you, is a goldmine of information.
It really paints a picture of her journey and how she got to where she is now.
So to give everyone a quick overview, LOQIA Group, it's a consultancy that specializes in bridging the gap between, the hospitality and travel industries.
And media and content partners.
Yeah, exactly. So they're all about helping companies navigate this crazy world of guest experiences.
Think in-room entertainment, seamless connectivity.
All the stuff that makes travel more enjoyable.
And that's where Peterson's expertise really shines because she's seen both sides of the coin. You know.
I mean, we're talking about someone who's held senior positions at DAZN, CNN International, Sky.
Even Warner Bros.
Yeah, it's like she's leveled up in every aspect of the media game.
And it's not just about the titles she's held, it's the impact she's made in each of these roles.
Right, like at DAZN, she pretty much wrote the playbook for their global commercial distribution.
A lot of people might focus on the results, like how much she boosted their growth.
Which was significant, by the way.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
But what's really impressive is how she did it. She understood that the global market isn't one size fits all.
So she went hyper-local.
Exactly. She built these partnerships with local distributors, tailoring DAZN's content to different regions. And that strategic approach, that's what really made the difference.
So it's not just about having a great idea, it's about understanding the nuances of the market.
And then executing a plan flawlessly, which she clearly excels at.
She's always thinking 2 steps ahead. It's pretty impressive.
Totally. And we see that same forward-thinking approach in her role at CNN International.
Head of global commercial distribution, right?
Yep, a pretty big title. But she didn't stop there. She went on to spearhead the launch of CNN Tapee.
Okay, for those who aren't familiar, CNN Tapee, what was that all about?
Well, think about it. This was before streaming services were everywhere.
Right, CNN International was still very much a traditional cable subscription kind of thing.
Exactly. But Peterson saw the writing on the wall.
Hmm.
She understood that people, especially travelers,
Were increasingly using their phones and tablets to get their news fix.
exactly. So CNN Tapee was born, this new digital product.
A way to reach travelers directly through their devices.
It was brilliant.
So you're at the airport, your flight's delayed, and boom, there's CNN Tapee.
Curated content right there on your phone, maybe even offline access.
Like a lifesaver in a sea of travel chaos.
Exactly. It was a brilliant way to leverage existing technology.
Create a new revenue stream.
And most importantly, meet the needs of a specific audience travelers.
Which is key in media, right? Understanding your audience.
Absolutely. And it wouldn't have happened without Peterson's vision, her leadership. I mean, she didn't just dream up the idea, she drove the entire launch, from development to integration across global markets.
Okay, so we've got someone who can create a global playbook for distribution and launch a game-changing digital product. What else is in her arsenal?
Well, before CNN, she was a sales director at Sky.
Okay, remind me what she did there.
Revitalized a struggling department. Shook things up, really.
Give me some details. What does she actually do?
She introduced entirely new product lines. Remember, this was before streaming services were the norm.
Yeah, Netflix and chill was not yet a thing.
Right. But she brought in Sky's in-room SVOD product, their on-demand streaming service.
Oh, smart. Hotels were probably thrilled to offer that to their guests.
Absolutely. It was a huge hit.
Yeah.
But it wasn't just about having the right product. She had to change the whole game. Revamped sales policies.
Implemented a CRM system.
Oh, yeah, to better track and manage customer relationships.
And built and trained an entirely new sales force.
Talk about a transformation.
The woman clearly doesn't shy away from a challenge. She thrives on taking something that's not working and making it a success story.
And we can't forget her time at Warner Bros. As the director of global sales and business development.
Bros.
Remember when those smart TV apps started popping up in hotels?
Yeah, that was ages ago.
Well, guess who was instrumental in launching one of the first ones?
No way. Seriously. That was way back when the concept was still pretty new.
She's always had this knack for spotting opportunities where others see roadblocks. And she's not afraid to build something completely new.
So we're seeing a pattern here across different sectors of the media industry, always driving growth, always innovating. But what does that actually mean for our listeners, right? Why should they care about Rachelle Peterson's career trajectory?
Well, I think it's a masterclass in adaptability, strategic thinking, what it takes to succeed in this fast-paced, ever-changing media world.
She's not just reacting to changes, she's anticipating them.
Positioning herself and the company she works with for success.
That's a lesson we can all learn from. It's about being a lifelong learner.
Staying curious, always looking for ways to innovate and grow.
All right, so we've seen that Rachelle Peterson has this impressive track record of success, but what are the actual skills that have helped her achieve all of this?
Yeah, it's one thing to see the results, but what's behind them?
Exactly. So let's go back to her LinkedIn profile, specifically the top skills section. I think it reveals a lot.
Oh yeah, those skills sections can sometimes be a bit generic.
Yeah, totally.
But in Peterson's case, they're very telling.
Okay, what are we seeing?
Her top three: partner relationship management, strategic communications, and, get this, hotel management.
Hotel management?
Yep. And when you consider her career path, especially what she's doing now at LQIA,
It makes sense, right.
it all clicks.
Okay, so break it down for me. How did these skills connect to her success?
Well, partner relationship management, that's all about building strong relationships, which, let's be honest, is crucial in any industry.
True.
But especially when you're working with multiple partners across different sectors, like Peterson does.
Right, like at LQIA, she's constantly connecting hospitality and travel companies with media and content providers.
Exactly. So being able to build trust and rapport, it's essential.
It's like she's a master networker, but on a whole other level.
Oh yeah, it's not just about knowing the right people, it's about understanding their needs and finding ways to create win-win situations for everyone.
Okay, makes sense. What about strategic communications?
This one's all about crafting clear and compelling messages, ones that resonate with your target audience.
And she has a lot of different audiences to think about, right?
Oh, tons. Hotel executives, content creators, tech developers, investors, the list goes on and on.
So being able to tailor her message to each audience is key.
Absolutely crucial if she wants to get buy-in and drive those amazing results she's known for.
It's like she's speaking multiple languages, not literally, but in terms of adapting her communication style to fit the context.
Exactly. And speaking of languages, I noticed on her profile that she's fluent in both English and Dutch,
Oh, wow, I didn't catch that.
and has a working proficiency in German, too.
That's impressive. So it's not just about adapting her communication style, but also the actual language.
Right. It really speaks volumes about her adaptability and cultural awareness.
Hmm.
I mean, the media and hospitality industries are global.
Totally. Being able to communicate effectively across cultures, that's got to be a huge asset.
Huge. Makes you wonder if her multilingual background has influenced her approach to business, too.
Maybe it's given her a deeper understanding of how to, I don't know, bridge cultural gaps and connect with people from different backgrounds.
It's definitely possible. And then, of course, we have hotel management, which might seem a bit more niche.
Yeah, compared to the others, it's a little different.
But remember, her current focus is on enhancing guest experiences.
Right, at LOQIA.
So she's not just thinking about technology or content. She's thinking about the entire hotel environment.
How to create a seamless and enjoyable stay for guests. I mean, she gets it because she's been there.
Exactly.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. But I'm also curious about the honors and awards section. She won the Outstanding Digital Advertising Award in 2009.
Oh, yeah, that's a big one.
What can you tell me about that?
It definitely shows her creativity and ability to deliver those impactful results. It's too bad we don't have more details about the actual project she won for.
Yeah, it would be interesting to see what that was all about.
But we can tell she was already making waves in digital advertising way back in 2009.
Which, let's be real, that was a different world.
Totally. Before social media marketing really took off. I mean, she was a pioneer.
It's amazing to see how much the digital landscape has changed since then, and yet she's managed to stay ahead of the curve.
That's what makes her so fascinating, right? She's not just adapting to change, she's driving it.
All right, so we've got her top skills, her award-winning work in digital advertising. What else can we learn from her LinkedIn?
Well, there's one more section worth mentioning. It's her publications.
Okay, publications.
It says she was featured in a Q&A and an article about trademark issues.
Trademark issues, huh? That sounds kind of random.
It might seem that way, but it actually says a lot about her status in the industry.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Explain.
Think about it. Being featured in these types of publications, it means she's seen as a thought leader, an expert.
So it's not just about doing the work, but also sharing her knowledge, shaping the conversation.
Exactly. She's not content with just being successful. She wants to contribute to the industry as a whole, helping to define best practices, pushing the boundaries.
That's awesome. It sounds like she's someone who's incredibly driven, ambitious, always striving for excellence.
Yeah, but it's not just about climbing the corporate ladder, it's about making a real impact and leaving a legacy. That's inspiring.
Totally agree. She's clearly passionate about what she does, and that passion translates into those results we talked about. But, I'm also curious about the personal side of
The
things.
personal side.
Yeah, what motivates her? What are her values? What's she like outside of the boardroom?
That's interesting. Her LinkedIn doesn't really give us much to go on.
I know, right? But sometimes you can read between the lines, get a sense of someone's character from their professional choices.
True.
Okay, so let's play detective here. What clues can we find that might shed light on her personality, her values?
Well, one thing that jumps out at me is her willingness to take risks, to step outside of her comfort zone.
Yeah, she hasn't exactly followed a traditional linear path.
Nope. She's moved between industries, taken on challenges, and constantly pushed herself to learn and grow.
It takes a certain level of fearlessness to do that.
And a belief in her own abilities
It's like she's not afraid of failure. She sees it as an opportunity,
to learn and improve,
which is a powerful mindset to have.
especially in a world that's constantly changing. The other thing that strikes me is her focus on collaboration, on building strong relationships.
Yeah, you can definitely see that in how she's built her career, always seeking out opportunities to connect with others and create something bigger than herself.
Exactly. And that's often overlooked in discussions about leadership.
What do you mean?
Well, it's not just about having a vision, it's about inspiring others to buy into that vision and work together.
And it sounds like she's mastered that.
Absolutely. So in the next part of our deep dive, let's take a closer look at some of the specific projects and initiatives she spearheaded.
Sounds good. Let's get into the nitty-gritty. Okay, time to get into those concrete examples, the projects where Rachelle Peterson's leadership really shines.
We've mentioned a few of her accomplishments already.
Yeah, but I'm ready to dig deeper.
Me too. Let's see, where should we start?
Well, we talked about it earlier, but I'm still fascinated by CNN TP.
CNN TV, right?
Such a pivotal moment in her career. It shows how she anticipates those trends in media.
Oh, absolutely.
So can we break down how that project came to life?
Sure. CNN TAP, or the travel advertising platform, was a game changer.
Totally different from what CNN International was doing at the time.
Remember, it was mainly a traditional linear subscription business back then?
People got their news through cable packages.
Exactly. But Peterson saw how people were consuming media, especially travelers, and it was changing.
Everyone was using their smartphones and tablets for everything.
Yeah, it was only natural to tap into that mobile market.
But it couldn't have been easy to convince a company like CNN International to make such a radical shift.
No, it wasn't. It took a lot of persuasion and strategic thinking on her part.
She had to make them see the potential of this new digital platform,
Not just in terms of reaching a new audience.
but also in terms of creating a new revenue stream.
Exactly. And remember, this was before mobile advertising was as sophisticated as it is today.
She was a pioneer, really.
Absolutely.
So how did she make it happen? What were the steps in launching CNN Tapin?
First, she had to figure out what travelers needed and how CNN could meet those needs, but in a unique way.
Right, they had to stand out.
She saw that travelers are often on the go, looking for news updates.
Even when they're offline.
Exactly. So CNN Tap was designed to provide that curated content that could be accessed anywhere, anytime.
Even without an internet connection, that's so smart. It's all about anticipating the user's needs.
Creating a seamless experience.
But it's not just about the tech, right?
The content matters too.
So how did CNN Tap differentiate itself? I mean, there were other news apps out there.
It wasn't just about repackaging existing CNN content. They created content specifically for travelers.
Okay, so what kind of content are we talking about?
Think about it. You're at the airport waiting for your flight.
Delayed, of course.
Right, you don't really want to watch a full news report.
Yeah, who has time for that?
You just want quick updates, maybe some travel tips, info about your destination.
Makes sense.
CNN Tap provided all of that in a user-friendly format.
Less is more, right? Especially with mobile content.
Definitely. You have to capture people's attention quickly and deliver value.
So launching the product is one thing, but how do you get people to use it?
Well, that's where Peterson's expertise in global distribution was crucial.
Okay, how so?
She had to build relationships with airlines, hotels, airports, all the key players.
Get CNN TP in front of the right audience.
And not just locally, but globally.
Which is a whole other challenge, dealing with different languages, cultures.
Business practices, yeah.
It sounds like she's amazing at bringing people together, getting them on board with a shared vision.
She is. But what about the technical side of things?
Right. Did she even have a background in tech development?
That's what's so impressive. She may not have had that deep technical background, but she understood how technology could be used.
To solve problems and create value.
Exactly. She brought in the right people, the developers, the designers.
And let them do their thing.
She's like a conductor, orchestrating everything.
Okay, so CNN TAP is a great example of her ability to innovate and drive growth. What else stands out to you?
Well, her time at Sky, revitalizing that struggling department.
Oh, yeah, that was impressive. Bringing on-demand streaming to hotels before it was the norm.
She introduced new digital product lines, including Sky's in-room SVOD product.
And guest pay models, right?
Right, a clever way to generate revenue.
For both Sky and the hotels.
Win-win.
Can you explain how those guest pay models worked?
Essentially, Peterson saw that hotels wanted to enhance the guest experience.
Give them more entertainment options.
Exactly. So she introduced a system where hotels could offer Sky's premium channels,
Or on-demand content as an add-on.
giving guests more choice and control over their viewing experience.
So simple, but brilliant.
It took someone with her vision to see it, someone who understood both media and hospitality.
She connected the dots that no one else was seeing.
That's what makes her such a remarkable leader. She's not just following trends, she's creating them.
She sees opportunities where others see obstacles.
And she's willing to challenge the status quo, even in those big established organizations.
It's inspiring, really.
It is. It shows you don't have to be a tech genius to make a difference in media and technology.
You just have to be smart, strategic, and not afraid to take risks.
Exactly. And her career path reminds us that success isn't always a straight line.
It's about constantly learning, evolving, seeking out those new challenges.
So what can our listeners take away from all of this, from Rachelle Peterson's journey?
Yeah, what's the big takeaway?
Well, it highlights the importance of adaptability, strategic thinking, and being open to new technology.
Yeah, it's not always about having the answers.
It's about being curious, asking the right questions, and having the right people around you.
And never underestimate the power of relationships and collaboration.
Peterson's career shows that success is often a team effort.
It really does.
And one last thing, the media landscape is always changing.
It's true.
What works today might not work tomorrow. So you have to stay ahead of the curve.
Anticipate those trends. Adapt. Innovate.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Well, it's been great diving deep into the world of Rachelle Peterson.
I agree.
She's a true inspiration, and I, for one, can't wait to see what she does next.
Me neither. It's always fascinating to explore these stories of people shaping the future.
And who knows, maybe someday we'll be doing a deep dive on one of you, our listeners.
Until then, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep pushing the boundaries of what's possible.